Take a look at these trout, guys, okay? Aren't they cute? So easy to do. You will be so amazed that you can do this, okay? You're going to impress everybody with your talent. These were created with just a cheap watercolor paint set off of Amazon, okay? Very easy to do. You're going to learn to love this, okay? All right, and you can do trout, you could do eagles, you could do other kinds of fish, bluegill. I think we're going to do a series on fish. How's that? And you guys will go with me step by step and learn to paint these. You want to go to Michael's or like a Hobby Lobby place and get watercolor paper. This is specifically for watercolors and it creates such beautiful magic on the paper, okay? The colors will blend together and it's really cool. And then you're going to need some paintbrushes, okay? Some of the watercolor sets come with paintbrushes. I like the one that looks like this. This one you fill up with water, and that's the one we're going to use today, okay? We fill this up with water, and the magic starts. All right, so let's get started, guys, and come along with me, and let's go paint some trout. Okay, guys, let's get started. All right, so this is the trout that we're going to kind of recreate. This is one I previously did, and the colors blend very nicely. All right. This is the paint set that I got off Amazon. It's about $14, and these are metallic colors, and they just glisten and shine. You can see it's just a little case. This ran about $15, all right? It's got room where you can mix your colors, make different colors, a lighter orange or a lighter blue, whatever you want to do. Okay. On your watercolor paper, and it can be bookmark size, it could be a note card, whatever size paper you want, okay? We're going to draw it out in pencil, and it's eventually going to look like this fish when we're done with it. See the different colors? And your colors can be completely different than mine. And here's another look at what you're going to draw. I find if you get a color book even, you can look at the pictures and recreate what the trout looks like. You just need a basic outline. Very easy. Okay, next up is the watercolor water pen. Very easy to use, and these are so cool. I didn't even know they existed. You unscrew it, you fill the bottom part with water, and you've got like a fiber tip on it where you can squirt water out on your paper. All right, I'm going to show you how to use this in just a few minutes here. One thing you need to know is this thing screws backwards, okay? You feel like you need to turn your right hand to the right, clockwise, but you don't. On these water pens, it's the opposite, it's left. It's really strange. All right, see how you can dab water out? Water just dabs right out the tip. Cleaning is very easy on these too. We're going to start off with our water pen, and we're just going to create a smooth water line along the top edge. You just go back and forth with a little water. You'll know where you're at because you're going to see a bit of a sheen, okay? Now we're going to start with some greenish color at the top. So wet the paint, get a good little dab on there. And then we're going to go back to the top, right where you put that water. You don't want to go outside of that line, out of the top of the fish with the water. Wherever you put the water is where that green paint is going to go. It's not going to creep outside of where the water line is. And you go back and forth with some green. You can make it as light as you want or as dark. It's all up to you. You do what you want to do. Just take some green and see how it's variegated, and that is exactly what you want. Because a fish isn't going to be just a total solid green at the top and then yellow and pink and blue. This is our rainbow one. So make them a little dark here and a little dark there, and you'll get this little water line going. See? You just spread it around. Now let me show you how you're going to clean this brush. Have a paper towel handy, squeeze out some water and just dab it onto the paper towel, and your tip will come clean. All right, now we're going to try our second color. We're going to add more water right below the green. You'll just barely squeeze the barrel to squeeze out a little more water. All right, just a nice little thin line. Select your next color you want. Maybe a yellow would be nice. Some of the oranges turn out pretty nice too. But get that color on there. Get it nice and thick. Now start adding that yellow. Go back and get more if you need it. There we go. Now you've got your green and your yellow. And now they're going to start mingling a little bit, those colors. And that is exactly what you want. You want to mix those two up on the fish. You can add a little more if you want. Things tend to dry lighter. And see, there's no mistakes in this at all. Now it's time to clean your brush again. Get your paper towel back out, squeeze some water out, and just keep going until most of the color is gone. All right, now we're going to move on to the bottom color. We'll do the bottom next. We're going to go with a light blue. Again, take your water and draw a thin line down at the bottom. Leave that middle space open. Leave some white space there because that's where we're going to add some pink. So a little water right through there. And you can draw right over that fin that's on the inner fish, okay, on the inside of the fish, or side of the fish, I guess. Get a little blue, dab it on there, get it wet, get that paint wet. Mix it around. Now draw your little line, add some of that blue right where that water is. Again, you're going to want to keep it variegated, okay? Lighter in some areas and darker blue in others. And you can go right through that side fin again with the color. We're getting ready to add that pink, so clean that brush off really good. Give it a little time to dry. Not too much, because you're still going to want those colors to run together. All right, we're going to reach over and get some pink, and we're going to fill in that white area. So wet your paint, your pink paint. Did you notice this time we didn't squeeze out any water on the white? We're going to get that pink pretty dilute and start adding that. Squeeze your brush just a little bit to add some drops of water there, and let it all run together. That pink and that blue is going to make a more purplish kind of color. There we go. Okay. They will start meshing. All those colors will start meshing together. And if you want, you can pick up your paper and tilt it a little and let all those colors run into each other. That creates a more unique effect. To see how that yellow ran and the green kind of ran and the pink is in now in the yellow? You can give it some more tilts and watch the magic happen. This is the fun part. We're going to start working on those outer fins, but we have to give it a little drying time. If we start too soon on those fins, then the fish colors like that green is going to run into that fin, and we don't want that. We want it to stand out with its own colors. So get like a golden color, an orangish color, get it wet. All right, here we go. We're going to paint that onto the fin. You can squeeze out a little water as you go. See how dilute it looks right here? Stay within those marks on there that you have. Stay inside those pencil marks, okay? Dip a little more. Now start dotting that color. And this you really want variegated, okay? You want dark in some spots, light in other spots. Make it look unique. Depends on which way the fish is swimming, how deep the color is, right? Alright, so we're going to start on the other fins. We're going to do the exact same thing. Paint a little color on there, squeeze out a little bit of water. If you find you've squeezed out too much water, it's very easy. Dry off your brush tip and go back and kind of sop some of that up, okay? And then knock off that other water onto your paper towel. So once you got water on there, add more color just like you did on the other one. You can dot it on, you can make it look like it's swaying like a fish fin really does. There's no secret to this, guys. It's just a technique in how to do it. Do the same thing to the next one. Add a little water, spread it out, stay within that pencil mark. And if you do get outside the pencil mark, then you just kind of go with it and, you know, maybe that fin got a little bigger. So we'll go back and dip for more color. Add some more color, draw some lines in it, whatever you want to do. Alright, we'll start on the little tiny fin up top. Your brush has probably got enough paint on it to do this one. Alright, we're going to start on the big fin on the back. Just do it the same exact way. You could make this one a little darker, a little lighter, whatever you want, because we're going to add more colors to this back one. We're also going to go back and add more color to those smaller fins also. So just take your time. You can wet your brush, you can wet the paper more, squeeze out a little more water. Just stay inside those lines. And that water, for some reason, will not go outside of the lines unless you put it there. Okay, now we're going to move on to the head of the trout, all right? We'll use that dark color again, the same one we've been using on the fins, and we're going to color in his face and make that just a little darker, just to stand out a little bit. Stay in the lines, make sure his mouth is open. There you go. It's just like drawing with crayons almost. See how his face is developing now? You want a kind of a curved area. Make his face a little darker if you want. And that little fin on the side, do the same thing. Give it a little color, let that stand out. Watercolor is so easy to work with. If you find an area that you want to add more color to, you can go back and do that. That's the magic of watercolor painting. All right. All right, I'm going back now and adding more color to the tail, that back fin. I'm dipping in green and just brushing it in there and letting those colors mingle together. Kind of muddy things up a little bit. You can just dot some color in there and it's all going to look different. See how our fish is developing and looking better all the time? We're going back to the other fins now. We're going to dot some green in on them. We're going to let those colors just mingle also. We're just going to keep doing the same thing with those other fins. No right, no wrong. If you don't want to use green, use yellow. Use orange. All depends on what mood you're in and what you want to do. This is such a stress-free activity, guys. Takes your mind off of everything. I decided I wanted the face a little darker, stand out a little more. Just going to add more color to it. Kind of curve the face. We're going to be adding some details with a black ink pen in just a little bit. I'm just skimming across the top to add a little more color, a little more depth to him. So we're almost done with the watercolor. I'm just going to go around to the bare edges and see if there's little places I need to fill in. It won't take much because a lot of this where it connects is going to be done in black ink pen. So I'm just doing a little touch up here and there. You can do the same. And we're finished with the paint. Now we're going to let him completely dry. This could take a while. This could take 10-15 minutes and then we'll come back. Alright, it's about 15 minutes later. I'm coming back to check to see if he's dry. Everything seems to be dry except the tail. I lightly touch it and I can tell he's just not quite ready yet. Alright, he's completely dry and we're going to start working on him. We're going to start adding details with our pen. This is a Faber-Castell pen, one I love. It's super sweet. It's a 109. I'll put some links to everything below and that way you know what I'm using. And if you want to order it, you can. It's just on Amazon. We're going to start by outlining the fish. Alright? Just follow along. It's just outlining. When you're outlining, just make nice, smooth marks. Follow along that pencil line. One thing you do want to do is to make sure where you are drawing this ink in that the paint is dry, okay? If it's not dry, it's totally going to soak into your paint and make kind of a blobby area. Sometimes you can fix it, and there are ways to fix it. Like down there by the tail, I'm not still quite sure that's all the way dry, and it worries me a little bit. So I'll just kind of work down that way and give that just a few more seconds to dry, that area right there, okay? So I'll go up here. We'll give the fish an eyeball. And I just draw a small circle. And then I put his little pupil toward the front of his eye. There. See? There he is. Now we're going to draw in some gills. Just a very thin tip of your pen, okay? Yeah, there's some gills. Now our fish can breathe, right? Our trout can breathe. All right, we'll do this little fin on the side. There we go. See how you can do that outline and you can make more solid points if you want. We'll go around and we'll do this to each fin, okay? Feel free to move your paper wherever you need to. I'm always moving mine. I think he's looking more like a trout now. I'm going to give that tail still a little more time to dry. We're going to go do some detail work with a Micron 03 pen. This is a very thin tip, not as thin as some other ones, but it's the very thin. So we're going to give those fins some detail. This is an 01, a Micron 01. That's a tiny tip, okay? For very fine detail work. We're going to use that too. All right, so we're going to start making some dots, some fish little dots on the top part of the fish. Little dots, big dots, little specks. You know, each fish has their own pattern. So you can give your fish, your trout, his own pattern too. I can do little teeny tiny ones all toward the front, bigger ones in the back, whatever you decide on. All right, we're going to make some thin lines along these fins. Just a few, because we're going to come back with that other pen too, those thinner pins. Just a couple little flicks. Use the very tip of your pen to do this. You don't want any thick lines, really. And if you get some thick ones, that's okay too. It's your fish. All fish are different. And there's so many fish in the sea, right? There you go. Let's do some lines. I'm still not sure that tail is ready yet. We'll get there though. All right, we're going to use our Micron 3. We're going to give his fins a little fine lines at him now too. And it's just a flick, a flick, a flick. Okay, just do some flicks. See that? Just gives it more depth, more detail. And you're going to do this on every one of your fins. If you want to try a few dots with that little thin pin on the top of the fish, you can do that too. All right, I'm going to take the Micron 01 and make some tiny dots and some more flicks. Just add a few of the teeny tiny ones in there. There we go. Now we'll just add some micro flips in there. There we go. Just add some more depth to a few of those. All right. I'm still not sure I want to work on that tail yet, guys. I don't want to mess this up, and he still just feels a little damp to me. So I'm going to give him another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and let that tail dry. You could always get a blow dryer and come back and blow dry him if you want. That'll speed things up. But I'll be back in just a minute, and we're going to do the tail. All right, I've given it some time, and now we're going to outline the back tail fin of the fish, of the trout. Follow your line. You can give him some squiggles if you want to make him seem more realistic. There we go. And we're basically going to do him almost the same way. Finish out the back body of the fish. Alright, we're going to start giving him some lines, some thicker lines. The same way we did the other. Angle those out though on each side of that fin. You want to give yourself a little room there because we're going to be coming back and putting other lines in there with that Micron 01 and the Micron 03. Just gentle flicks. And can you tell how that color's variated? Looks good, doesn't it? Then take your other two pens with your 01, your 03, and just give him a lot of flicks, okay? A lot of small, tiny lines. You're going to look at your fish when you're done, and you're going to go back and you're going to make tiny little adjustments. You'll add more dots here and there, however you feel. You can do what you want with your fish. I'm going to go back now and I'm just going to add a little hook that's got a little fly on it. And that way that'll bring me good luck in catching that trout next time I go out in the water. And there he is. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. I can't wait to get back in the water and go trout fishing for real. Alright. These two look similar, but yet way different, don't they? Your trout can be any color you want it to be. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video and you've learned how to watercolor paint. And I hope you decide to do this. Get through the winter, take up a new hobby, and I look forward to seeing you in the water once spring comes again. You can also visit my other channel. It's Adventures with Crystal. And on that channel, I do motorcycle riding, camping, all kinds of outdoor activities, trout fishing, as you can tell from the trout we're painting today. So visit me there, Adventures with Crystal. Thanks, guys.